Today I'm wiring up a diesel heater in Rebecca's van because, like a plonker, I forgot to do it. I've put all the, well, I haven't put all the kitchen in, but I started to put the kitchen in. Now I suddenly realised, hang about, we've got to run the wires for the diesel heater behind this lot, so in a way it's kind of a good job I remembered rather than I forgot. Our monster wants to help, don't you, mate? So yes, I've managed to find this armoured cable that's left over from another diesel heater that I installed, so we're going to use this. It's quite substantial, so I thought I might as well use that. And in good old Mel fashion, I've cut the plug off. As Rebecca says, I like cutting plugs off. Yes, I do. We don't need them. We make our own plugs, don't we?
It seems to be his favourite pastime. We don't need that. Chop.
Yeah, we don't. We really don't. So I've got all the tools. I've got all the gear and no idea. There you go. Okay, so the diesel heater's all wired up. Now I'm just going to quickly remind you how I'm running Rebecca's van. It's not in a conventional manner. We're using a 240 to 12 volt transformer because we're using a Bluetti AC 180 and the outlet on that is only 10 amps. So to overcome this, we're using a transformer. That's this transformer here, and it is plugged into the 240 outlet of the Bluetti. A lot of people saying this is inefficient, but in fact it's not really that bad. It draws so little power. You can see on the output there it actually says 0, even though the AC inverter is switched on. It's still showing 0. That's how little power it draws. So let's switch on the diesel heater and see how much power the diesel heater draws on startup. Remember, we're using a 30 amp 12 volt transformer. The diesel heater was plugged into the bottom there with a 15 amp fuse. It's also got its own built-in fuse, and I left this attached. I was going to cut this off, but if I'd cut this off the cable was just a little bit too short, so I decided to leave that fuse on there. So the diesel heater has got 2 fuses. Can't see anything wrong with that. Right, fingers crossed this actually works. Here we go. How much power will it draw? Let's see what happens to the display. Let's see what that diesel heater draws. Now it should go up to about 200 watts, I'd imagine, but remember the inverter is going to take power as well as the diesel heater. Just interested to see how much the diesel heater will actually take, considering we're using an inverter as well. Also, this might, somebody else out there may find this interesting, mildly entertaining, slightly informative, as I do try and make my videos. There we go, over 100 watts already. Now when the glow plug of the diesel heater kicks in, it will jump. I expect it to jump anyway to like over 200. Because not only are we using, well, because we're using the inverter inside the power pack, that obviously takes up power as well, and then we're transforming 240 volt via the 12 volt transformer into 12 volts. Well, maybe it's not going to jump as much as I thought it would. Well, there you go. See, now usually when I try and run a diesel heater from a 12 volt socket in a conventional manner, they usually draw about 120, 130 watts. I'm really surprised by that. So it just goes to show, using a 12 volt transformer, it doesn't jump that much. I can hear the diesel heater flaming up. Yeah, this is quite normal. They normally peak about 130 watts. Oh, look at that, it's peaking up. Ooh, it's going up. I'm just going to shut up and watch it. Right, flick, it's 300. Yeah, this is what I was expecting now, because we're drawing more power than we normally would because we are using a transformer. Wow, that's incredible. Once the diesel heater is going, it should drop back down. It's only because the glow plug is kicking in, it's drawing so much power. And it's when the diesel heater starts up that these 10 amp outlets, the traditional 12 volt 10 amp outlets, struggle because they can't cope with that peak. I'm interested to see what it will actually go down to when the diesel heater is ticking over. I'm expecting it to go down to about 30 watts, if that, maybe less when it's ticking over, but we'll see, because we are using 240 volts. Well, we're not using 240 volts directly into the diesel heater, we're using a 240 volt outlet and a 12 volt transformer to run the diesel heater. So the diesel heater is still running off of 12 volts, it's just that we're pulling that 12 volts from 240. You can hear the pump of the diesel heater slowing down, the fan slowing down, so that means the diesel heater is up to temperature and it's just starting to tick over. And yeah, it's going down slowly, the draw's going down. Still a lot higher than I thought it would be, but now it's saying it will last for 12 hours at this rate of discharge. Interesting. I just find this interesting. I mean, I don't know if any of you do, if anyone will find this interesting or mildly entertaining. It's not exactly thrilling, I know, but it's just interesting to see how much power is being drawn to run the diesel heater using a 12 volt transformer. Ah, here we go, that's more like it, that's what I was expecting. So there you go folks, the diesel heater is up to temperature, it's ticking over, it's on its lowest setting, granted, but then this is only a small van, so the chances are we're only going to ever have the diesel heater at that setting anyway. And it is drawing between 19, 18, let it settle down. Oh no, it's pulsing like this because every time the pump cuts in, it obviously draws a little bit more power. That's why it's pulsing between 19 and 20 watts. But anyway, this state of discharge, it will last 65.5 hours at 95% state of charge. That is pretty impressive, and it just goes to show that even though we're using a 12 volt transformer drawing power from the 240 outlet or 230 outlet in this case, it's not that inefficient. It's not as inefficient as some people are trying to make it out to be. A lot of people in the comments are saying that this is a really inefficient way of using power, but this just goes to show it's not that bad at all. I'm really pleased with it. I'm so chuffed for this to be working like this, and it just goes to show how efficient these power packs really are. And this isn't a paid promotional video, I'm not trying to promote this, I'm just trying to demonstrate that using a 12 volt transformer with one of these power packs, you can actually run your camper van in a normal manner. Yeah, look at that, it's working really well. I'm so chuffed with that. I'm really pleased with that, and according to this graph it'll last 65.5 hours almost at this state of draw. So yeah, just goes to show that it really isn't that inefficient. Using a 12 volt transformer really is a possibility, it really can work. I'm super stoked, really pleased. Right, let's turn Becky's lights back on and see what difference it makes, just to show that that light is running off of the 240 outlet as well. It's made no difference at all. Oh yeah, look, it's going from 20 to 24 now rather than 18 to 20. Well, there you go, that's Becky's diesel heater ticking away. You can see I've got it on the lowest setting, which is 5 Hertz. Oh, that's plenty, that's toasty, that is, that's nice and warm. I'm pleased it works. Right, so now the diesel heater's all plumbed in and running, let's finish doing Becky's backdoor bidet shower arrangement. I'm really chuffed with that, I really am. I'm so pleased that works. We'll have another look. Well, now that's the diesel heater all wired up and running. I've now got to make a backdoor bidet shower for Becky, but that's tomorrow's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you very soon. Hey Becky, where's the bits for your shower? In the
Bits
box?
for my shower.
Yeah. Bits for your shower. Not them bits, my dear. Right, anyway, on that note, we'll see you tomorrow, and I will be fitting a shower for Becky. Make sure you don't miss that video. Ta-ra for now.